torn pecs are weird. I had a friend who had a torn pec and he never got it fixed. So he had this like weird, crazy divot.
Yeah,
it was real odd. It's like he had extra tit here, and this was like a hole.
It's crazy how tough wrestlers are. I remember one of the Piper things that I remember the most is we were hanging out a lot. He was doing stand-up at the Comedy Store in some of the last years of his life, hanging out there a lot late night with me and Barris. Like, we would all just go to the diners afterwards, and he would drive a lot, and he was having trouble with his shoulder, sort of famously, for a month. And he was like, oh, God, when he was turning his steering wheel, it was like, oh, you could tell. Even though he had a very high tolerance for pain, extremely high tolerance for pain, he's like, shoulder. He's like, yeah, I'm going to a doctor in a couple weeks. And the whole couple weeks, my shoulder, geez Louise. And then after that, he's like, yeah, I went to the doctor. Turns out my neck's broken. He just had a broken neck. Thought he had a sore shoulder, but
How did he break his neck?
I mean, it's just like every injury is.
It's crazy. So I wrestled. After that, I think it was 2015, I wrestled Lesnar at WrestleMania in the Superdome. Somewhere in the first 5 minutes or so of the match, I get concussed. I can't tell you where it happened, when it happened, but I have no memory whatsoever of the match at all.
Oh.
Crazy. Like, my memory from that day, the last memory that I have is at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This is crazy, right? 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I have a conversation with my wife. So obviously I had all that time. I think we went to the ring around 9:30. The concussion happens somewhere within the first 5 minutes of the match. And anyway, I go through the match. The match goes for 30 minutes. I couldn't tell you one thing about it. I mean, I've seen it back now, but I mean, at the time, I got no recollection. Couldn't tell you my name. Couldn't tell you where I was at. Had no clue. Never lost consciousness, but had no clue. Anyway, they take me to the hospital, and they take me back, and my wife and Vince are there in the waiting room. They come out. It's the same kind of deal. They go, all right, he's broken his neck, and we're going to give him another scan. Like, obviously, my wife is completely freaking out at this point. And come to find out, they had read the scans wrong. It was an old break that I never knew I had.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you had a break,
I never knew
still
it.
Wrestling with it.
And I never knew it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Probably just assumed, like, was that pain in your shoulder too? Like, that's what I'm noticing. It's like a lot of these neck injuries go to the shoulder.
Well, you're talking about your neck injury.
Yeah.
And is that where it's bothering
Yeah,
you?
totally. The whole back of my shoulder blade's messed up, and I just found out that my neck's messed up, disc on disc, whatever.
Bone on bone,
Yeah.
You have stenosis.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably got that from wrestling.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
They have me on steroids right now. Can you tell?
Yeah, they ain't got you on the right ones.
They probably have you on cortisone.
Yeah.
Methylprednisone or
Yeah,
something?
prednisone.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
yes.
think you get jacked on prednisone.
Damn.
It's the wrong stuff.
I'd be huge if you did.
Yeah, I contacted that dude about stem cells.
Oh,
We
cool.
Talked to him about that.
Yeah.
Have you had any stem cells?
I have. I've had, I did PRP and stem cells and didn't do much good for, like, I put them in my knee. But I had all these guys now that are going down to Colombia and Panama.
Colombia, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they swear by it.
Yeah.
I think because they're getting more down there than the FDA will allow here.
Exactly.
But
they do a lot
two
of wild
guys
shit down there.
Yeah, two guys that I know have gone down there and swear by it. It's like,
Yeah, I sent my mom down there. I sent my mom to Panama. Yeah, twice. Yeah, she had a really bad knee, and it was in pain all the time. And she went, and then 6 months later, the pain went away. It took a while, but for 6 months, she was like, "I'm not feeling anything. I'm not feeling. It feels the same." And then about 6 months later, because she's in her 70s,
right.
it took a little while before it kicked in. But then it started feeling much better, and then she went back again for a booster a while later. It helped a lot. Really, it stopped all the pain.
I've heard nothing but, I hadn't heard any bad, for sure.
What's going on with your knees? Meniscus?
Arthritis, yeah. Just, I think it, once again, going back to my hips and throwing my gait off, my walk
sure.
off. It's just,
Well, it's just also the weight, carrying
Yeah.
that much weight around for anybody with your cartilage and your meniscus and the kind of shit you're doing. So these crazy explosive movements and
when I was getting ready, 3 or 4 years ago, I was training over here for that too. Way too old, but did a 42-inch
box jump. Oh,
and then did a 500-pound pull, which I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I didn't even know I could get down that low, to even get
a deadlift
to
position.
deadlift, yeah. And but it started, then I started looking back through some of the footage of the training. Like, it started with me doing step-ups. I mean, that was where I started my program at, just doing step-ups on a bench to end up
42-inch box jump.
Yeah,
That's
at
impressive.
50 plus, yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I couldn't do it now. But
Deadlifting, Robert Oberst, he's a strongman.
Yeah.
He doesn't even believe in deadlifts. He's like, you shouldn't do deadlifts. It's like it's just the weight on your. It's very controversial for him to say. Some people disagree.
Yeah,
but it is it's one of those things. It's like you can fuck your back up
easily. Yeah,
yeah, especially if you're doing heavy weights
with poor technique. It's real easy to do.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't have any reason at this point to try a 500-pound deadlift. I got nothing left to prove. I got one.
Yeah.
I got one on film, bro. I'm good, man.
We got to boost Tony up to that.
That's it.
I've been telling you, if you want to get bigger, you got to lift heavy things, squats and deadlifts. You got to tell your body that something's wrong. Something's horribly wrong, and you have to lift heavy things now forever.
Yeah.